Welcome to your homeXtend Customer Administration Portal. Here, you can update your calling features, change your profile settings, and change your voicemail settings. You can move a slider on and off by using the mouse. When entering a number in the entry field, use a 10-digit format, no international numbers. Some areas allow you to add extra numbers. Click the Add button. When you make any changes, don't forget to press Save at the bottom of the screen. The Do Not Disturb feature can be enabled to send all calls to voicemail while the feature is active. The Play Ring Reminder when a call is blocked setting will ring your phone line once for each incoming call as a reminder that the D&D feature is still enabled. The Call Forwarding Always feature can be enabled to forward all calls to the specified destination phone number. The Play Ring Reminder when a forwarded setting will ring your phone line once for each incoming call as a reminder that the Call Forwarding Always feature is still enabled. The Call Forwarding No Answer feature can be enabled to forward unanswered calls to the specified destination phone number instead of the default setting of routing calls to the voicemail. The number of rings before forwarding to the number can be adjusted up or down. The Call Forwarding Busy feature can be enabled to forward calls when your line is busy to the specified destination phone number instead of the default setting of routing calls to voicemail. With the Call Waiting feature, a call is not considered busy until you have more than 2 calls simultaneously. The Call Forwarding Unreachable feature can be enabled to forward calls when your residential device is unreachable to the specified destination phone number instead of the default setting of routing calls to voicemail. This feature allows you to route calls to a different number if your internet service is down or your residential device is offline for any reason. The call recipient will receive the call marked as either anonymous or private number. The Selective Acceptance feature can be enabled to allow only calls from specified numbers from ringing your phone. All other calls will be rejected. Up to 12 numbers can be entered. This can be used as a selected Do Not Disturb feature. Constant use of the feature could prevent important calls from getting through, including calls from emergency services. Instead, use selective rejection for long-term use. The Selective Rejection feature can be enabled to block calls from specified numbers from ringing your phone. Up to 12 numbers can be entered. Additionally, calls from private or unavailable numbers can be rejected. This feature can be used to block robocalls or other junk calls. The Distinctive Ring feature can be enabled to ring your residential device differently for calls from those numbers. Up to 12 numbers can be entered. Additionally, calls from private or unavailable numbers can be set to ring with a different pattern. However, calls from the specified number list and calls from private or unavailable numbers will ring the same. To ensure that emergency personnel come to the correct location when you dial 911, an E911 service address must be associated with your residential service. This must be your physical address and must not contain P.O. box numbers or anything that is not part of your physical address. Entering the wrong address will result in emergency personnel arriving at the wrong location. If you move the location of your residential device, you must update the address in your profile. Do not call 911 from your service if you're outside the U.S. Review the section on 911 services in the terms and conditions. Your email address is used to send to you all service notifications as well as requests or password resets. Ensure you have your correct email address entered here. The email address field will initially contain the email address you supplied when you signed up for service. To change your password, enter your current password. Then enter your new password and confirm it. The password must contain at least one number, a lowercase letter, an uppercase letter, and one special character, non-alphanumeric. The password should be at least 8 characters in length. To change your security questions, select the question you want to change, choose a question from the drop-down list, then enter the answer in the answer field provided. These security questions may be asked when making some changes, such as resetting your password. Your voicemail service contains a number of settings to customize the service. Voicemail is enabled by default. To disable the voicemail service, move the slider to the off position. The default number of rings before greeting setting is 3 rings. This value is an approximate time it would take to ring your phone 3 times. Use the up and down arrows to increase or decrease this time. If you will be away for an extended period, you may record a new greeting indicating you are not allowing messages to be deposited and then enabling the disable message deposit feature. This will prevent callers from being able to leave voicemail messages and keeping your voicemail box from filling up. When this feature is enabled, you can choose either disconnect call after greeting or forward call after greeting to and specify a forwarding number. This is different than the call forward always feature in that the service will play your greeting first before forwarding the call. Voicemail messaging settings by default. Busy and unanswered calls will be directed to your voicemail service. If you want all calls directed to voicemail, check the Send All Calls to Voicemail setting as well. If you want to prevent busy or unanswered calls from going to voicemail, for example, if you have the call forwarding busy or call forwarding unanswered service enabled, then uncheck those 2 options. The message arrival settings can be used to adjust how you want your unified messaging services to work. Unified messaging is used to deliver your voicemails to your specified email address. By default, your service was set up with unified messaging enabled with the email address you specified when you signed up for service. It's under Advanced Options, Email a copy of the message to setting. The Use Phone Messaging Waiting indicator can be used to enable, by default, or disable the use of the message. If you prefer to have all voicemail messages only emailed to you and not left in your voicemail service, choose the Forward Message to Email Address option and enter your email address. If this is enabled, voicemails will not be stored in your voicemail box and instead will always be emailed to you as an attachment. This setting is ideal if you infrequently call into your voicemail box and delete messages, as it will prevent your voicemail box from filling up. In Advanced Options with your Unified Messaging Service enabled, you can choose to either receive an email notification that you have a message or receive an email with the message attached as a WAV file. That's by default. With the attachment option, you can listen to your voicemail on nearly any device without having to call into your service.